Welcome, one and all. I am Lex.
I'm Hazen Fields II.
And I am Trey. What is up, interwebs?
And this is Various Feels. And for everybody out there, have you ever been in love? Have you ever been looking for the right one? Have you ever been looking at your phone and being like, there are too many people on here. Who do I choose? Well, that's what I'm going through. That sounds pretentious. Well, that's what I'm going through right now on dating apps, because that is the conversation of today that I threw out there. And I wanted to throw it out there because I've learned that I'm not good at dating apps, but not for the reason that people think.
What is the reason people think?
I don't know, but it's probably bad. Don't think that. Hey.
I got you.
Hey.
That's true. That's true.
But for the reason I think is that I've learned, or at least how I've been taught, is to put yourself out there on dating apps. You have to be interesting. You have to be intrigued. You have to entice the people. You have to get people to be like, hey, why am I going to look at you? You got kind of like a resume. I know. But I've noticed that gives me too much opportunity to be hilarious. And dating apps are a really, 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 really good way to practice comedy. And I'm not sure if that's how it's supposed to be used. Right. But it is, and this is the important part, funny. Right. And that's my experience.
I think that's partially my fault. You have one-liners disease like I have.
I do.
One-liners. If you're not familiar with the term one-liners disease, I think we've coined it. Sometimes when there's a joke that is available for you to take, someone says something, no matter what it is, and you have an opportunity to make a joke, you have to stop yourself sometimes. But because of one-liners disease, you just got to say it.
The medical term is malapanatosis.
Malapanatosis.
Malapanatosis. I like that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. But for your experience, because I know you talked to me a little bit about that. I think you're actually hitting it spot on. Again, I haven't really been on dating apps, but I think to be your true self on the dating app, right, is the best way to go about it, as opposed to trying to fluff and, put yourself out there in a way that's not really 100% yourself, right? So you showing the world that you're all about the one-liners, right, will probably definitely weed out the people that can't handle those kind of jokes.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I've seen that. I've learned that, like, talking with people and, like, introducing myself into being who I am, being, like, a little comical, having jokes around there is a way I want to present myself. And I had this one conversation that was really interesting, where there was this individual who they really talked about how much they liked, plants and being outside in nature and things like that. And I asked them something like we ask each other. I think we've asked this audience once or twice. If you had a superpower that best described your personality, what would it be? Please, in the comments, answer that for yourself if you're interested.
That's cool.
And their response was the tree whisperer. And I'm like, that's really nice. That's really cool.
Right.
So I said, like the lorax. And I realized I called another woman the lorax, and I didn't get a response back.
Yeah.
So being my true self has been really working out.
Yeah.
All right.
She said true. In my defense, that is what the lorax does.
Admittedly, that's probably not the best way you should go about it.
Yeah.
But at least for those that won't be able to take that or take that association, they're not the one for you.
Right. That's true.
Like, mind you, I don't think you should go around the world saying you're a lorax.
That's true.
Who doesn't like Dr. Seuss? One thing, you think of two.
Well,
apparently
that's
Republicans
true, but the pictures of the lorax are not necessarily complimentary for a human being to have.
I couldn't make other jokes. All the places I could have gone.
But listen. Well done. That train came in a little late to my station. That was very good. Well, listen. But for those of us, I'm saying us, who are not familiar with the process of a dating app, because it may be, it may seem like, old hat to you young folks, stuff like that. But
is it old hat to you?
It's a beret. Yeah. Take this process. So you say you want to go on a dating app. What do you do? Start me from the whole process. Like, you talked about resume, filling out a thing. Tell me about that.
So, like, what's the process of starting going into dating
app? Like how do you, I want to get on a dating app.
Step one, be sad. Second,
I'm joking.
Wow.
No way.
No, I think, it's, I was a joke for myself. I feel like I'm not roasting anybody else. I think being on dating apps is a very good way I specifically went on to put myself out there in a more, in a more consistent way. because I'm busy a lot. I'm busy all the time. I'm busy a lot. I do a lot of stuff at work. I think a lot of people can find whoever they're looking for. If you're looking for to date, you can find people anywhere at your job or work. But I wouldn't say it's recommended to like look actively while you're around coworkers or things like that. At least that's not how I personally feel. You know.
Well, I guess what I want to get to is the actual step by step. So, in other words, you go to the dating app and it asks you to fill out a profile, I would imagine.
Yeah. So, but the reason why I was mentioning that was like essentially saying that like the first step to me is just also for the audience. I just think you need to be prepared for why you want to be on there because it's a different experience. That's all I'm trying to say. Right. So you go to, but it's a good way to constantly be out there because like I don't have to be on the app for people to see my profile. So I don't have to be like looking for someone actively. They can be like, I like this face, and then click on it.
Okay, gotcha.
But yeah, so though I say I'm on dating apps, I'm technically only on one. I'm on a couple, but only one I'm actually using is Bumble. And the reason why I was on a couple because people told me to use multiple. I'm on Bumble, and there's a picture of me. There's several pictures of me. There's a picture of me at a concert. That's like the more me trying to present myself picture. Then there is a picture of me looking at a waffle, because waffles are great. Then there's a picture of me behind a video camera, because that's what I do. Okay. Then there's a picture of me with the family, but I've left our secret identity members out of it because I'm smart.
Yes, that's right.
And then and there's a picture of a chicken playing basketball, but he does a cross step to someone. Because then it's like, why did the chicken cross the road? It's really good. It's really good.
And the someone in particular is in fact the road.
Person's crossed up is just it's a road sign. So
oh my Lord!
Really funny.
There you go.
That one doesn't have a lot of likes. I think it's a great joke. I know people gotta get their stuff up.
It's all right.
And then there's like a little profile stuff on it. So there is what your interests and things like that. One of the things is like, what's something weird or interesting that you always think about? Yeah. And my answer to that question is that one Cars 3 trailer. I may have talked about this show before. This is going to sound like it's a completely different conversation.
No, go ahead.
But there's a Cars 3 trailer, which, if you guys don't know, is a children's Disney movie. And there's a teaser for it where our main character, Lightning McQueen, for if you guys don't know, is a car. Is crashing and like rolling over, and like it goes. There's a scene of him rolling over, and it just has this cut from black to him just breathing. So it goes, and then they show the crash in slow motion. Cuts the black, and then goes Cars 3, and I'm like, this is a child's movie.
Wow, that was.
I think Lightning McQueen died.
You did that well. I was engaged.
It's in my head.
Wow, that's very good.
So that's on my dating app. And then there's this other stuff. I said I could do a backflip in my heart. I like that. I can talk. I talk a lot, which is evident. And some other things.
That's good.
Yeah, and so people have been. Some people are like, "Yeah, I like this guy." And some people are like, "You're a lot."
So then the other person that's looking for that connection, they put in their similar information.
Yeah.
And so the computer or how do you like? Do they say you've got mail, M-A-L?
So that's actually really good.
Thank you.
That took me a second. Mail would work.
I mean, but how does that? Is it like the computer?
It kind of works. It kind of works like that. This is where I think a lot of people. I should put it out there that, like I said, I don't think I'm good at dating apps because I do find it funny, and I don't think that's why everybody goes on dating apps.
Right.
Because also dating apps have been known to be quite toxic, and I can see why.
Yes.
Because you are judging the person as much as you possibly can, or not. You are intentionally. I don't know. I don't believe most people are trying to intentionally judge people on the first basis as much as they can. However, the app kind of pushes like, hey, there's a picture, one blurb about the person, and then if you swipe left, I believe if you don't like them, if you don't like that picture, that presentation of self, or you swipe right if you do. So if you swipe right, if someone swipes right on you and then you swipe right on them, then you get a notification in the app that says you have a match, and that means you guys have both swiped right or liked each other on that app, and then it allows you to engage in conversation.
But in defense, of that concept, do we not do that in real life? Like if you see a group of people that you might want to look at or talk to,
I think
you mentally quickly might
Yeah, but you don't verbalize it, and I think that's the thing that makes it like if I was in a bar and I was like, oh, look at all these people I could potentially date, and I went, I don't like you, 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 I don't like you. Hey, that would be mean.
But so does the app tell the person that you've been swiped left?
Don't know, but depending the way it would work is like kind of like a statistics thing. So like if you're on apps and let's say you're on a dating app and you're on a dating app for a very long time without getting without any matches, that means there's not a lot of people who would be swiping right on you. That means there's not a lot of people who like you.
Oh, okay.
And because there's on the app, but also because there's no defined way of knowing that an app can very much, play with one's, I guess, mental health and feelings, because you can assume a lot of people aren't, but maybe just people haven't seen the picture, don't know, and that just gets in a lot of people's heads.
So it can be
you self-evaluating.
Right, all right, then because it becomes anxiety-driven.
Right, well, and it becomes more of a badge thing, in which case you have more people that might like you or might dislike you, and compare that to other people that have been on dating apps themselves.
And then people try to change their profiles just so they can
get more matches, because more matches means that you have a higher chance of being liked by somebody in society. Right,
in that society,
in that particular society, that's correct. But that's the thing that kind of skews the view. Yeah, right. So I understand that.
So that's an interesting thing, which kind of to anybody out there. First of all, we always swipe to the right for our viewers.
So like, share, and subscribe to various fields if you think we're a match.
Even better. Very good job. I like it.
Very nice. Bravo.
I think I'm going to include that now going forward. So I believe, for me, I like thinking about what's old is new again. Some people, it's a brand new thing. Bah. This type of thing has existed throughout time. Me and Nels were talking about it. Nels.
He said, no,
not this subject. Wow. I said, okay.
Not
as a participant, but as a person being aware of the social strata, for he is a man of understanding. So I just wanted to clarify that. But I'm suggesting, being a married man, so I understand, what existed in time. So, being a child of born in 1963, and in the 1970s, the computer dating was a big deal. A lot of comedy programs would, utilize that as their their premise.
Right.
How the character. In fact, I think it was an Odd Couple episode where Oscar Madison. Wow, am I old? Oscar.
I don't think anyone knows that name.
The sloppy guy in the Odd Couple, and the neat guy in the.
I just don't remember the actor's name. I know that.
Okay, Jack Klugman played Oscar Madison. Felix Unger was played by Tony Randall. Why do I know this at the top of my head? I'm frightened. A lot of things have been popping up at the top of my head I shouldn't know right off the top. But anyway, they put their information in the computer information, very well said, and the computer chose their dating potential, and they both got each other's ex-wife.
Rough.
So comedy ensues. I believe both, or
marital problems,
or maybe it was just Oscar that got Felix's ex-wife, something like that. But anyways, the point is the idea of letting a computer assist in using the binary systems of sorts to choose yes or no to help you choose is not a new idea.
Right.
As well, if you go way back, we can go back to the time of the Sears catalogs, Sears and Roebuck. I'm not going to go there yet. Sears and Roebuck used to have mail order brides. And it was more likely than not that it was a lady that was in the same set and was like swiping left, but it was just you flip a page, and that was how certain relationships, but also societies were built. You'd have
to come to your house in 5 to 7 business days. What is that?
It's kind of like a FedEx type thing, But but that's what happened. If you were
no, but seriously, how does that work? Because I hear it a lot in like the Jetson and what have you. Like in that era, like it's common to hear mail order bride. What does that exactly mean?
Well,
because I'm really thinking it's like someone's gonna be knocking up on your door. It's like, hey, you paid for my trip over here, so hey.
Essentially, that kind of happened. Now, mind you, I'm not as old as the thing itself. Once again, 63, not 1863, but back in that time, where towns were being established and lonely miners and
prospectors.
Prospectors, yeah,
prospectors.
Right.
Yeah, prospectors.
MINORS, but lonely,
the dictionary,
from some very glad. I am so glad to meet you. Oh God. Anyway, everybody relax. Just
White is coming out soon.
Yeah, very good job. Thank you so much. You got my back. Anyway, but people in towns where the guy would, they would look through the thing and looking, they've been working there. They want to establish a family. So, they had these catalogs, and the woman would say, my name is Bessie Menderfield, and I'm looking for, that kind of thing. And he'd write her, my dear Bessie, I found your, and they would send that out in a few days.
Love isn't what it used to be.
Along with the bunch of seed that you ordered, your bride would be on the same stagecoach.
I just realized mail was a lot more fun back in the. What happened to who are the people that they sang when you came to the not a telemarketer?
Barbershop quartet.
You're a singing telegram.
No, is it a telemarketer? But the
singing telegram.
Telegram. Like, are you telling me I could have done a telegram and a mail order bride at the same time? Because that'd be hilarious. You've got a wife.
I guess they could have.
She don't like you. No.
Wow. But anyway, but that's it.
That's a good.
But so
you canonically just teeheed. I'm just saying.
But listen, so now.
I guess from the experiences that you guys are bringing up, like, again, I haven't really done a lot of online dating. I definitely haven't done mail order brides or anything like that. But like, I always found it interesting. Like, is there a
free shipping?
No.
Sorry.
People do that for fanfics all the time anyway, so you're fine. No, I'm thinking that is there an issue with how we introduce each other socially compared to how we are interacting now with all these apps, making it so convenient to, and like, mind you, like, it's nice to have the chance to build a community and not have to waste the time knowing that a person's not going to be a match for you, essentially, right? But I also understand that I think there's a certain level of increased social anxieties because of the lack of social interaction that we have on a day-to-day basis. Like, you try to talk to a person at a coffee shop. Oh, hey, how you doing? You also, I think you picked up my coffee accidentally. And then that would be, like, in the 80s, that would have been the start of a rom-com. You know what I mean? But now, you try to say, oh, excuse me, I think that's my coffee. You're probably either going to be looked at weird, or just ignored entirely. We'll get you another one, sir. Don't worry about that.
You just can't bump into people with a pile of books anymore, hit them with a pile of books, and then all scared to get your books and glasses and touch their hand and look up and go,
that's an anime.
Can't do that anymore.
It's a different genre, but I understand.
No, I do agree. I think this is a little bit of a segue, but I guess a premise I had before that was thrown out there is that fear is already a virtual reality. In terms of, a lot of people think of virtual reality as like the Matrix, you're in it, the VR kind of thing. But it's like, I do think the social constructs and I guess niceties, whatever the case is, how you're supposed to act online is wildly different than how most people act in person. And like, because some people spend a lot of times online connecting, things like that, there are kind of two different worlds people enter in. And now I think that line gets a little blurred because some people are very used to interacting with online and they kind of bring that to social norms out here. And that's not as, and then vice versa, some people bring their social norms out here online. Right. So I think there is a muddying of how people interact that is definitely disturbed by the social medias and the whatnots.
Right. I think that we're kind of like in the midst of a transitional period where all of these things are coming together, because I think maybe 100 years from now, where I have my doubts of how social interaction on the interwebs, as you say, is damaging, how we, how we converse with one another. Eventually, this will be communication as we know it. You know, I think there is there's something to be said for people being drawn to one community. And we do that now. I often, some people say, well, where do you go to meet someone? Well, people say, well, it used to be people would go to the library. Well, because people have so much access to books and stuff on their phones, and the libraries are probably suffering from that, that kind of place. So, oftentimes now you go to the library, you're running into people who are trying to stay warm oftentimes.
That's true.
I agree. We should bring back libraries, like hard stop, like full funding into like bringing back books, bringing back actually a place for like free study and education.
Yeah,
third spaces.
Right? Yeah, third spaces,
absolutely. Right.
But they're there. But but it's just that people are not going there to the same thing.
Right.
There is a safety that exists in the online thing, because if you go out. People are people, and I think no matter what, because online, from what I understand, people will put down a profile, but it won't be true.
Right.
I am a fancy Dr. Spaceman. And
I should have put on fancy Dr. Spaceman.
and in real life situations. People would meet each other and run into those same people.
Right.
And they'll say it in your face. Well, I'm a fancy Dr. Spaceman. And I'll give you a ride home.
That's Mr. Fancy Dr. Spaceman to you.
Yeah, there you go. And so you don't know. So the level of at least if you're at home, there's a certain amount of safety there, or anonymity or something. But that all has its own dangers. So it's interesting. But I think all those dangers always existed in some form.
Oh yeah, no, like in terms of, I guess, courtship throughout the years, there's always been a level of glibness and guile that went into like building up your own character to impress the mate, right? Or male or female, right? So I don't know if there was something that said like, oh, let me pamper my way this way and then look this way, let me act this way to have people be more impressed as to what I look like, or let me like promote my business more than what I actually do, and then people be distracted by what I make, what I can offer, as opposed to who I actually am as a character. You know what I mean?
An LLC.
Right. So I think it really is kind of hard, because I know that there is a certain level of security, like you said, like you're doing it from this safety and practice of your own four walls. Do I want to be with a person? Do I not want to be with a person? Swipe left, swipe left. Maybe right, but maybe for another time, right? And then you go into like the real world, IRL, and then you meet that person. He's like, hey, you don't look like your picture at all, but.
It's called being catfished.
That.
I never understood why it's called being catfish. I'm not sure if that's insulting to the catfish, or because catfish is quite delicious.
I'm sure there's some kind of connection to somewhere, but that is an interesting term, catfish.
All right, sorry, I didn't mean.
No, because we get attracted to shiny objects, catfish, But yeah, I think that social interactions have always left room for people to say, I'm interested. I think like in the olden times, and again, not from my era, but, there used to be times where they would say a lady would drop a handkerchief on the ground.
Hilarious.
And a guy would, why is that hilarious?
That's just a funny way to drag somebody.
But it was done, it was like a social cue. It was like, so a lady would drop her handkerchief on the ground, theoretically, and the gentleman would see it and say, pardon me, madam, is this yours? And
see, that's funny.
What if it's not theirs?
That's the thing that's funny to me, because I feel as if someone dropped anything modern day, right? Oh, excuse me, miss, you dropped that. I don't think anyone's gonna fawn over you. You know what I mean? Like, as opposed, like, and there's also like even common practices, like you're opening up a door for an individual, right? How many times have you heard someone say, "I have a boyfriend"? After, after you open up a door, it's like, all right, fine, you didn't want to be in the building. That's fine with me. I don't really care.
Right, but that's the whole thing. It's just social norms and what was considered chivalry. Chivalry is really dead almost, because that which is which might be considered chivalry. It rhymes with etiquette and being a gentleman. You know what I'm saying? All these things are all combined.
And people get mad for me making Dr. Seuss comparisons. Chivalry and etiquette do not rhyme.
What I'm saying is, they are, you know, they're close neighbors.
Right.
So there was ways that, you know, that a polite male was to do something, but you know, but now, you know, those lines are like, you know, we'll even talk about, you know, what do you mean this is what a male is supposed to do? Anybody can do anything they want. You know, a woman can open the door for you. You can open the door for a woman.
But I think the idea of chivalry, also chivalry has been debunked. I think there are also some people who've taken the concept of chivalry.
What do you mean by? I'm sorry. What do you mean by chivalry has been debunked?
That's what I'm trying to say. Like the idea is like I've noticed that I think there are people who take chivalry or the idea of like this is how you're supposed to court or do things too far because then it seems transactionary. And then some people think like, oh, because I did this thing, this person should do this thing.
Okay.
And I'm saying that I think the chivalry is dead, but I also think it has, much like other things, has transformed.
Okay, so in respects to that, kindness for kindness' sake should never be considered dead. All right, common courtesy for that should not be dissuaded from happening as a regular social transaction. I understand a transactional kindness, right, as it is expected. Oh, I did this thing for you, so I need. Yeah, I can understand, but that's not chivalry.
No, I know. I'm saying that is what it's been taken to. I'm just saying there's to me out there because the audience is how people work online. I think that's just a good context to kind of throw out there.
Like, but even like the context of chivalry, like kind of like in the times like medieval era, there was like supposed to be a code for like knights to actually stand by it in a time where knights were really supposed to be just like murderers for the king, you know. And that, it's like there was no real code or context of like how a man ought to operate when they were in wartime. It was like, oh, you are a symbol for the king. So in like particularly in Arthurian lore, right, you're supposed to basically just say, oh, I want to be like this man and kind of like symbolize hope and justice for my society, and that's what chivalry was. And then now you have a social concept. I mean, like mind you, social constraints have always been changing over and over throughout the years. So the ideal man, the ideal knight in shining armor may not even be what it was back in 1844. You know what I mean? So I can definitely understand what is, like, I don't know, the kids call them chads now. I don't even know what it is.
Idea.
Go on.
New dating app idea. Call it the round table. Yeah, see, bring chivalry back.
That's right. Yeah.
I know.
The round table. You might have a good night.
Oh, no. That's actually funny.
Already dangerous.
What?
No, it was good, but
what did I do? You know, no, but yeah, the idea behind
Knight in shining armor.
you know, I guess you could say the society and how it changes. Things that are normal in a society are normal, and you don't think of it as being abnormal or different because it's embedded. It's embedded. It's into the DNA. So in other words, you know. But once it starts to morph, you know, we have to go with the times. And we have 2 minutes left?
Yeah, just about.
Oh, boy. Well, listen, let me ask you guys, if you are interested in this, if you've had some very positive interactions or negative, whatever it is about dating apps or the dating process as we know it now, please, you know, send us a comment. Some last
subscribe, all that jazz. Make sure we know that you too like dating and like people and like us are on someone save me are also on
you're bumbling.
Okay. Good job. There you go. You close us out and let's get us out.
Then. Well, thank you very much for spending the time with talk about dating. If you believe that dating apps are the way of the future, then by all means, like, share, subscribe once again. Tell us your story if you feel like it. Don't tell us your secrets if you don't want to. Don't have to.
Indeed.
All right. Do you believe chivalry is dead? Do you think it should return? Maybe it should come back at part 2, Electric Boogaloo. Right. What do you think should be normal for society? I don't know. I have a lot of different questions regarding this.
I like that.
Right. So that's my take.
There you go.
Put yourself out there. Never be afraid to be yourself.
That's right. Okay. Well, listen. Thank you so much.
Unless you're a bad person.
This has been Various Views.
Stay away from
and we
people.
will see you on next time, fellas.
Absolutely.
Love you both. And love you all for coming out here. Thank you so much.